Hi everyone, welcome to Chai Chithi, a segment where we read out some of the most terrifying, haunting, nightmarish tales sent in to us by all of you, our lovely listeners. I'm your host Aishwarya.
And I'm Aryaan.
And
Oh
Aryaan.
my god, where's Chai Chithi? Where is this? Where is that?
Chai
Here it
Chithi,
is.
Chai Chithi. You know
Chai,
what?
chai, chai.
They remind me of all of y'all. Remind me of the birds in Finding Nemo, my absolutely most
Oh,
favorite
the
movie of all time. The mike,
seagulls?
mike, mike, mike. That
They
is
go
all of y'all
chai,
with
chai, chai.
Chai and
No,
Chitti.
I
And
mean,
we love it. I'm
we
so
love
glad
it.
you
We
guys
love
love
it.
the
You
IP.
guys, you guys are, as much as you're listeners of the show, sometimes you're like our teachers or like exam invigilators that keep us on check with our schedule and timing. And while, of course, Desi Crime episodes always come out, we get a little bit lazy with Chai and Chitti sometimes because we have a busy work week.
Yeah.
And this segment, which you all love, which we love too, just time sometimes doesn't allow for it. So one of our 2026 resolutions is to be more diligent to you guys and to this lovely segment of listener stories from around the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna make it a point. Something we're gonna try and do is, even though we might not be able to release Chai and Chitti video episodes
Yeah.
every week, we will try to release Chai and Chitti on audio as often as we can, which you can get on the Bhootbusters audio feed. You can get that on Spotify
Link
or
in
wherever. The
bio.
link will be in the bio. And yeah, in order to free up our schedule, most of which goes into meetings so that we can make money and get sponsors and God knows what all. If you want to power the house here at Desi Studios, please become a member on Patreon or a YouTube member. Link is in bio. And
What Aran is basically saying is be our mitochondria.
I be our yes, be my mitochondria. Be an
We will
organ.
make merch that says be our mitochondria.
No, we will not, but still do.
Okay.
But with that, Ishwarya, what's the first crazy
Let's
story?
get on with it. The first story begins. Hey Aryaan and Aishwarya, I hope you're all doing well. You can call me V. I'm a long-time listener of your podcast and I often tune in while I'm working. It's the perfect escape. I've been hooked for quite some time now and recently became a member because I truly love the cases you cover. I keep coming back to your episodes again and again, even after finishing all the cases.
Look, she's one of the mitochondria.
I love it. What a cute little mitochondria. I also want to say that I absolutely love both Aryaan and Aishwarya. You both are very well spoken and always serving the looks. I think Aryaan is the more look server in
I will not disagree with
our
that.
Desi crime equation. He's
I
always
will-
in some quirky fit.
Oh, that's what look server just means looks good.
Yeah, I think
And I'm the one of the
the
two.
look includes the
Clearly,
fit
the beauty side of Desi crime is totally me.
on the left side of the
Because
screen.
absolutely it doesn't happen that whenever listeners come to meet us after a show, it's just Aishwarya they compliment. That totally does not happen at all.
Absolutely happens all the time. My favorite episodes are the Chai and Chitti ones where we get a glimpse of the unhinged version of you guys. I absolutely love it. So, welcome to another one. Coming to the story now. This happened to me when I was in my first year of college. I used to stay in a hostel room that was perfectly ordinary, nothing creepy about it. It was just a normal room, and it was me and my roommate sharing the space. Our beds faced the bathroom door, and the bathroom window overlooked the street. Every night, the streetlight outside would cast a dim, almost eerie glow into the bathroom, making the room feel a bit haunting. There's something kind of weird about your room and your bed facing the washroom door. And right through the passageway is this window through which you're looking out. I don't know if you watch enough horror
when you say
movies.
like bed facing, like the head of the bed facing the bathroom?
So, in a way that your face would face the door of the bathroom.
No, your head. Like when you say your face, do you mean you can see the
Yes, when you open your eyes, what you will see is the door of the bathroom.
Oh, I see.
And through the door of the bathroom, you will see a window. That's kind
Yeah, I
of
mean,
odd
that's
to
pretty-
me.
that's
I
pretty-
I have a huge window in my room, and even thinking about it now, it's not even so much the bathroom. I don't want to be facing a window as a horror and like crime consumer.
That's fine with me. My bathroom sleep hygiene is that bathroom doors cannot be open.
Hmm.
Mom planted this weird superstition that bathroom doors, if
Are
left
like a
ajar,
conduit for
yeah,
spirits.
like she's like that lets negativity in, and I'm like, Mom, firstly, you shouldn't have seeded that because I believe it. Secondly, I hate that like the toilet seat, like we're basically saying poop is the gateway
Yeah,
to.
which, it's
I mean,
there's a
yeah,
little bit in all of us at any given point in time.
yeah,
So,
exactly. So,
yeah.
but yeah,
Damn.
I keep my bathroom door
Fair enough.
closed.
That could have maybe been a solution in this story, depending on what's happening next. So we'll
Aishwarya,
find out.
something happened recently. Actually, now that I
Okay.
think about it, me and my flatmate were awoken at around 2 or 3 in the morning
Okay.
with a thump, like a pretty loud sound, and we just assumed something must have fallen, and so we went back to sleep. Both of us independently woke up, and the next day when we were talking about this, we
In
found
the
out that
debrief.
it woke both of us up.
Hmm.
We didn't think much of it. Now, we had a guest come to our house that day. The guest used the guest bathroom, one that we do not use.
Guest या guest knee. This is what we will clarify first.
It was a male guest.
Oh, okay.
It was a male guest. I still haven't. I'm still, very lonely and alone. And
Still on the lookout for a guest knee.
There's no guest knee in my life.
Yeah.
So now this guy, this guest, if that's the male guest,
Sure.
uses the bathroom, and we don't use the guest bathroom, so he does the whatever he has to do, and he tells us to come in because the window in the bathroom, the window is fallen out. Like
Oh.
the frame of the window has fallen out, and so
And fallen out and gone where? You're like on a higher up
it's
floor.
just fallen inside the bathroom.
Okay, inside. Got it.
And we both obviously instinctively want to blame him for screwing it up, but he's pointing out that no, this was already the case. And then both of us connected the dots that, this was the sound at night
Yeah.
of something having fallen. But we didn't think too much of it.
Of course, this, if anything, alleviates some of the fear that you
Maybe. Then our Didi comes at
Maybe.
night
Okay.
to clean the house, and she sees we ask her, what could this be? And she very nonchalantly goes, oh, चूहा आया होगा यहाँ से. She apparently a rat pushed the window frame to enter the house and managed to do it successfully. And she said it with such a confidence and calm that freaked us out more than any ghost could. So we were like, is there a rat in the house? And she goes, oh no. It leaves from where it comes. So it must have gone now using the same path. That's why we leave.
If we've learned anything from our childhoods, is that when Jerry finds a spot to hang in,
Jerry
Jerry
be
has like a
hanging
bed
there.
going on in there. He has a little like mini fridge situation. Jerry ain't leaving from the door that he came
But
from.
it does prove my mom's thesis of keep the bathroom door closed, because had that door not been closed, that mouse would have been able to get into the kitchen and
Pull
stuff.
a little Shawshank Redemption.
little Ratatouille.
moment. Ratatouille,
Yeah.
sure. Well, moving on from that utterly useless story to the one you were reading.
Okay, thank you. No wonder I don't have a guest knee if this is my first date conversation.
Now, we usually kept the bathroom door shut. Very good. But on this particular night, my roommate had gone back to her hometown. I settled into bed as usual, but I noticed that the bathroom door was slightly open. I was too lazy to get up and close it, so I just drifted into sleep. After some time, I became aware that my body was awake, but I couldn't move at all. I could see everything around me, but my eyes were closed. I was trying to get myself out of this out-of-body experience when I noticed a dark silhouette standing in the bathroom, just barely visible in the dim light. My heart started racing, but I couldn't move a muscle. I could then hear footsteps in the corridor, slowly approaching my room. The footsteps grew louder until they stopped right outside my door. And then, the door suddenly banged open. To my horror, it was my roommate. But she looked different. She walked in with an eerie, unsettling smile, her movements stiff and unnatural. She started walking towards my bed, and I desperately tried to move. I tried to scream. Instead, I felt myself sinking deeper into the mattress like it had turned into quicksand. My body felt heavier with each second, trapped and helpless. I couldn't breathe. My heartbeat felt faster. And then everything went black. When I woke up, I was alone. The room was just as it should be. The bathroom was empty, the door was closed, my roommate was still away. It was just sleep paralysis, but it left a lasting impression. It was one of the scariest experiences I've ever had, and I wanted to share it with you all. After that night, I started sleeping in my friend's room till my roommate was back. Sorry for the long story. I hope you all liked it. Regards.
I mean, this is your classic sleep
Sleep
paralysis story,
paralysis.
which to me, ghosts and all those stories, I'm able to rationalize. Sleep paralysis is very real.
Yeah.
I've experienced exactly that. Although mine, I've talked about this on the pod before, but sleep paralysis, and I'm suddenly transported in a forest, and I can see silhouettes of trees shaking. So it's one of the scariest things.
I think whenever Aryaan last spoke about his personal sleep paralysis experience or during one of the sleep paralysis stories, I remember telling you all that I've actually never experienced sleep paralysis.
Have you since?
Yes. This happened
What? And
about 4-5 months ago.
you didn't tell me?
And it was just like, I didn't, because I wish it was something like this where at least I got like a good story out of it, but it was just the stupidest experience ever. I've fallen asleep in the middle of the afternoon in my room, and when I've woken up, I haven't fully woken up, I'm asleep. I can just visualize my room. I feel oddly awake but oddly asleep. And what's happening in this room is there's a bear cub and a tiger cub trying to kill me and climbing up my curtains, and I can like fully see it happen, and I can like almost feel their fur on my foot as they're running across my bed. They're like really cute looking, but also I'm like terrified that they will kill me, both of them together. Now, while this is happening, in real life, my laptop is kept right next to me as I've fallen asleep. And when I get an iMessage text from my partner, it pings on my phone and it pings on my laptop. I start getting real-time texts in real life on my laptop, so I can hear this pinging sound as it's happening. Now, in real life, he's writing me the cutest things. In my dream, he's breaking up with me. In the sleep paralysis version, my eyes slightly open and I can look at the laptop and I can read the text. So there are these cubs running around trying to kill me, and then there is a breakup happening on the laptop. I'm unable to move, just like kind of dead and off on the bed over there. It was just the stupidest thing ever. I'm like, our listeners have such cool sleep paralysis stories.
So funny, dude.
Yeah, there's nothing to harp about, honestly.
Yeah.
Welcome to my mind.
Yeah, dude. Like, everybody has a set archetype for sleep paralysis, and you're like, nah, yours gonna be completely different.
I don't know what the hell that was.
That's funny.
But I loved it. Okay, moving on to story number 2. Hello, Aishwarya and Aryaan. I am Z from Pune. I absolutely love your podcast. I honestly survived the traveling part of my job because of it. The way you narrate the episodes is truly commendable. What I'm about to share is a personal experience and not a one-time incident. I can confidently say this might be one of the most unique paranormal experiences you've heard. So here it goes. My boyfriend Jay and I have been dating since June 2016. At that time, I was staying in a hostel while pursuing my undergraduate studies. Everything was normal and happy. We were madly in love and constantly on our phones since it was a long-distance relationship. Jay has always been and still is a hopeless romantic, known for grand gestures. We were genuinely happy. Until things began to change. 2017. One night, as usual, we spoke on the phone until midnight and I dozed off while talking to him. I'm generally a very deep and peaceful sleeper. Noises never disturb me. However, the next morning, my roommate told me that I'd been murmuring in my sleep all night. That night, I dreamt of a girl about my age chasing me through the hostel corridors. The dream felt extremely real. The dim lights, the spider webs, the water cooler, washrooms, I ran through all of it. Suddenly, I woke up in my room and saw the same girl on my ceiling, staring at me with rage in her eyes. I honestly have never ever seen her face and I don't remember it at all. I didn't overthink it, I brushed it off, spoke to Jay and moved on. 2018. By then I'd graduated and moved back to Mumbai. I had just started a hectic job and was constantly busy, so sleep issues were never a problem for me. But one night, despite being exhausted, I couldn't sleep. I wasn't someone who usually had nightmares or experienced sleep paralysis, but that night I had a very vivid dream. I saw my deceased grandmother, but with an evil smile, calling me towards her.
Oh my god.
Come, let's go, she said. I woke up gasping for air, my eyes swollen from fear. I told myself it was just a dream and let it go. I discussed this episode with Jay on our daily calls and brushed it off. 2019. Jay and I moved in together and we were in a live-in relationship. Everything was going well. I had a new job and we went on a trip to Kerala with 2 other friends. We stayed at a beautiful villa on the Varkala cliff. On the first day, we enjoyed the beach, the sea, the sun and the sand. By the end of the day, my smartwatch showed 20,000 steps. We were exhausted. Without much effort, we went to our rooms and fell asleep. That night, both Jay and I were extremely restless. I heard him murmuring something, but I felt oddly drugged, unable to fully wake up. Through half open eyes, I could see him sweating and moving restlessly beside me. At the same time, I felt the room closing in on us, as if it was shrinking. I felt breathless, scared, and claustrophobic all at once while asleep. It was terrifying beyond words. It didn't end there either. I heard someone calling me from outside the door, a clear female voice saying, "Please open the door. Let's go together." I wanted to get up and open it, but I couldn't move. Somehow, that night passed. The next morning, we woke up around 10 a.m. Carefully, I asked Jay, "Did you sleep well last night?" He stayed silent for a moment and then said he couldn't sleep and had a terrible dream where someone was sitting on his chest, making it feel extremely heavy. I then shared my entire experience from the night. We were both equally scared. After getting ready, we went for breakfast with our two friends and told them about our dreams. We thought it might have something to do with the villa. While eating breakfast, Jay receives a Facebook notification. "It's Simran's birthday today. Wish her." He looked at me silently for a moment and then said, "Today is February 16th. It's Simran's birthday." One of our friends who went to the same college as Jay across the table looked at him with a blank and weird expression. I didn't fully understand what was happening. Later, we went through Snapchat memories, Facebook memories, Google Drive, photos, everything for over an hour. And that's when we realized something horrifying. All these incidents had happened on the same date every year.
No way.
February the 16th.
No way.
We connected the timeline through my convocation date, my first job offer letter, and now 16th February 2019, when we were together experiencing the same bizarre events. Simran was Jay's very close friend. They never dated, but they were emotionally and physically involved. She died in a tragic road accident near the same college they went to, and Jay was the last person she spoke to before she passed away. I knew this story, but it had never truly registered with me. Once, during a truth and dare game, Jay had mentioned, "If Simran were alive, I think the story would have been different today, and we might have never crossed paths." Realizing that these experiences had occurred in 2017, 2018, and 2019, always on the same date, terrified me.
Damn, Jay really has balls
To
to be
say
saying
that,
all of
I
that.
think maybe what he means is that
No, I
she-
understand what he means, which is not wrong. It's just I wouldn't say that in front of my girl.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if
and
she
I would
hadn't-
be pissed.
Yeah,
But
of course.
maybe you were too, which in that case we support you being pissed.
But we support my guy for being honest, right? No?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, too much honesty is
Too
not a
much
good thing. No one
honesty.
needs to see into your brain all the time.
Yeah.
So that is okay.
But he was playing truth and dare, to be fair. Yeah.
In that case.
How specific does the question need to be for you to venture that detail? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I wouldn't
What
be
was
with
the
you
question?
if I was with my ex.
That's not what he said, but okay.
Summary.
There is a cute ending to their relationship in this as well. So we'll get to that.
Cute ending to their relationship?
No, like a cute
Ending
stop
to
to
the
the
story?
story
Okay.
leading to their relationship. Yeah. After that, we became very cautious about this date. We remember it every year, but never speak about it. The episode stopped after 2019. I was the most spiritual one in our relationship, so after understanding the truth, I prayed a lot. Now it remains a faint memory. At least those scary episodes stopped, but we've had the biggest fights of our relationship on this particular date. Jay and I have been together for 10 years now and are getting married this year.
Aw.
Thank you so much for your patience. I hope you love this story and consider featuring it. Love you guys. Z. I actually really do love that story.
I love the story, but I would love if Jay's best man in a speech goes, if he was still with her, this wouldn't be happening.
Okay, maybe this does require a little bit clarification. If you would love to just like respond to the same email thread and let us know what he meant by that and whether or not you were pissed, I think it would just make this a little bit more human. I'm curious to know, but
Yeah.
I give him the leeway. It's okay. He seems like all in all a
But
great
a
partner.
recurring bad dream or bad event on a fixed day is very scary.
Very, very scary.
Even if it's coincidental, like I would read into it for sure.
Of course you would read into it. No,
Yeah.
that's terrifying. And then that date having actual significance in
Yeah.
terms of it meaning something, someone's birthday, someone's anniversary, death date, whatever it may be. Hella terrifying.
All right, story number 3. Hello, Aishwarya, ma'am, and Aryaan, sir. Guys, just call us by
How
our names.
cute.
I'm K. Right now, I'm preparing for my board exams. Not the best time to be writing. I know, but I could not resist sharing this memory. There's no better way to procrastinate than writing into us.
Absolutely.
I first came across your podcast by listening to an audiobook. Aryaan's ad kept popping up, and curiosity got the better of me. I searched for the Desi Crime podcast, and from that moment, one thing became clear. Your podcast is the only reason I can sit through maths. I genuinely cannot imagine doing maths without your voices in the background. It sounds crazy, but the moment you start speaking, my mind switches on. Thanks to you, I finally started scoring well in maths after what felt like an eternity.
I wish podcasting was a thing back when I was struggling with maths, like grade 8, 9,
Aishwarya,
10.
your greatest contribution in life is helping others get through maths, right? I truly believe that.
Literally, if only I could have done something for myself.
Well, for the past 5 years, I studied in a boarding school. Like every other boarding school, mine too had its share of horror stories whispered in corridors and dorms after lights out. Most of them were rumors. But one story stands apart because I witnessed it myself. It was a windy evening just after the monsoon had ended. The sky still felt heavy and dull. As we walked back to our dorm, I noticed a figure running across the playground. At first, it seemed ordinary. Then I remembered something important. The playground was strictly off limits after 6 pm. Our school was surrounded by forests and wild animals often wandered close. No one was allowed to be there at that hour. But I brushed it off, convincing myself that it was nothing. Later that night, after finishing my routine, the matron came in at 9 pm and switched off the lights. To understand what happened next, you need to picture my dorm. It was a separate building, connected to the main school by a bridge and located right next to the playground. My bed was close to the balcony. That night, someone forgot to shut the balcony door. Around midnight, I heard the door creak open. A cold gust of wind swept in. As I turned to the other side, I saw a shadowy figure near the balcony. I told myself it was my imagination and forced my eyes shut. But then came the footsteps. At first, I assumed it was monkeys, common in the mountains. But something about the sound felt wrong. Fear slowly settled in. I woke my bed partner, but she dismissed it gently, reminding me that I often had nightmares. Reluctantly, I went back to sleep. The next day went normally, almost too normally. But the following night, things escalated. This part is from my friend's perspective. Around 2 am, she heard noises and noticed me tossing in my sleep, clearly stuck in another nightmare. As she leaned over to wake me, something else caught her attention. There was a figure standing on the balcony. It was smiling, and it was looking directly at her.
These stories have a theme of smiling figures.
Yeah, I don't like. Yeah,
I don't.
I would rather a ghost have a scary face.
In this episode, I would like to declare that the scariest thing ever is
Aishwarya's new scary thing.
new scary thing as of this episode is smiling creatures, humans, not humans.
Yeah, don't smile.
Just don't stare and smile in the middle of the night, hovering on top of someone's
Yeah,
head. That's
yeah.
kind of off.
Like if you wanna haunt somebody, haunt them.
Yeah.
Just make it clear. It's. I don't like this mixed messaging.
Yeah, look like
It's that
a
I'm
terrifying ghost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, if we can communicate that to the other realm. Terrified, she shook me awake. Without thinking, we rushed to the balcony. I began chanting the Hanuman Chalisa under my breath, OG move, while my bed partner whispered her Buddhist prayers. I love a secular approach towards.
जिसका काम कर जाए वो बढ़िया एकदम.
We slammed the door shut and locked it. Neither of us slept that night. The next day, we still could not shake off the uneasiness. Exhausted and shaken after staying awake till morning, the fear lingered with us through every class and every corridor. After this incident, something in me changed. My nightmares started becoming frequent. What earlier happened once in a couple of weeks now happened 3 times a week. It felt as if something was wrong with me or around me. A couple of weeks later, I saw something in my dreams that completely shook me. I found myself sitting in a dark, empty room. The air felt heavy and still. Right in front of me sat an old woman on a chair, her face partially hidden in shadow. I was seated directly across from her, unable to move. After a long silence, she spoke in a cracked, aged voice. Quote, "Every year, I choose my favorite. And this year,
Oh my
it
God.
is you. Behave well or else." Before she could finish, I jolted awake, drenched in sweat, my heart pounding. What made it worse was realizing I was not alone. It was exam season and everyone in the dorm was awake, studying late into the night. I could feel their eyes on me as I sat there shaking, exposed and embarrassed, having yet another nightmare in front of everyone. Later that day, we finally spoke about it to a senior, someone I often interacted with in the debate club. She had been in the school for 8 years now. She told us that 156 years ago, something tragic had happened in the very building we were staying in. A former principal had lost her life. As soon as I heard this, everything began to make sense.
Oh my god, choose
The
my favorite.
figure
I
I
just
had
got chills.
seen. Whew! The figure I had seen. The presence my friend felt. The fear that never truly left the room. Although I never had another encounter after that, I made sure the balcony door was locked every single night. Some habits stay with you when fear teaches them. Was it real or just another trick of the night? I will leave that for you to decide. I know the 156 years sounds crazy, but it is all true because the boarding school I went to was established in 1869. Hope my story finds a place in your Chai Chithi. With love, Khushi.
Absolutely. Oh my god. Oh my, I literally had chills. I choose my favorite bit.
Yeah.
It's the principal that makes
I'm
that's
done.
terrifying.
I'm done.
That is so scary.
And I've had a couple of principals that if, while I respect the hell out of them, if they were ghosts,
You'd be scared
oh,
shitless.
I mean, it's over.
Yeah, it's wraps.
It's this podcast has one host. I
yeah,
mean,
you'd
it's
rather
over.
marry Bloody Mary than deal with
I mean,
that.
that I would
Also,
do.
your hostel point is absolutely not unbelievable at all. Like boarding schools in India are very, very, very old. Like
Yeah,
they
no, for sure.
regularly celebrate their bicentennials. Like these years, we've had some bicentennials for some major boarding schools in the country. So mayhaps people, our foreign audience,
Yeah,
doesn't
no,
know
this story
but
actually scared me.
yeah,
Okay,
terrifying.
good to know. I'll maintain a good relationship with my former principals.
Drop a text.
Drop a text. Hi, ma'am. All right, story number 4. Hey, Aishwarya and Aryaan. I'm S and from Chennai. I'm 15 and I'm a huge fan of your podcast. For the past 2 months, I've been grinding for board exams that are coming up in February, and listening to your podcast before sleeping has been helpful. So helpful, in fact, that it freshens my mind after all the studying. I especially find Aishwarya's voice so calm and soothing while narrating the story. So the story I'm about
I
to
love
say...
you.
Blah, please ignore that. So the story I'm about to say is completely true, and I did not include any fillers. Let's start. Our school takes us on trips every year, and in 8th grade we went to Ooty. Everyone had been talking about this trip for weeks. It had been our long journey with our parents, and the excitement was unreal. We boarded a 10 p.m. train from Chennai to a neighbouring town near Ooty. Although Ooty does have a railway station, the train that climbs up the hills is extremely slow, so our school chose a faster route and arranged a bus for the mountain journey. The train ride itself felt like an adventure. The compartments were filled with laughter, snacks being passed around, and endless conversations. None of us could sleep properly because we were too excited. When we finally reached the neighbouring town early in the morning, we were half asleep but still thrilled. After a quick break at the station, we boarded our bus and started the journey into the hills. Our teachers divided us into groups of 3 so that everyone would stay together. Luckily, I was placed with my 2 best friends, T and D. We took the seats near the window. As the bus climbed higher into the hills, the weather slowly became cooler, and mist started to cover the roads. The scenery was breathtaking. Endless green hills, tall pine trees, water flows down the rocky cliffs, and clouds drifting past the bus windows. We took pictures, listened to songs, and leaned against the glass watching the mountains pass by. Every few minutes, someone would shout and point at a waterfall or a valley, and the whole bus would rush to that side to look. At one point, the bus stopped at a sharp hairpin bend so that we could step out and enjoy the view. The valley below looked unreal, as if it had been painted. Everyone got down, students, teachers, and even the driver. They were clicking photos, laughing, and enjoying the cool breeze. I stayed back for a moment and went inside the bus to drink some water. As I lifted the bottle, I noticed a woman standing outside the bus, staring straight at me through the window.
Was she smiling?
She looked to be around 40 or 50 years old. Her hair were messy, her clothes looked worn out, her eyes were wide and unblinking. Something about the way she stared made me uncomfortable. I tried to ignore her and kept drinking water, telling myself not to overthink it. But then she stepped closer. She raised her hand and suddenly threw an egg at the window. It hit the glass with a dull crack and slowly slid down.
An egg? She egged the bus?
She egged the bus.
The spirit literally just egged the bus.
It's
I've
really-
never heard of
could
anything
just
more
be a-
badass by a spirit.
It could just be a woman. We don't know if it's a spirit.
But okay, fair enough.
It could just be a
If
vandalizing
that
hill
is
lady.
a ghost, that's one badass ghost, bro.
The egg left a yellow trail sliding down the window. My heart started racing. Then, in a low, trembling voice, she said in Tamil, Kapatu, Kapatu, Kapatu. Save me, save me, save me. I froze. For a second, I couldn't even move. The bus felt silent and empty, and the mountains outside suddenly felt very far away. I dropped my bottle, ran out of the bus, and went straight back to my group without telling anyone what happened. When the teachers called everyone back into the bus, I kept looking out of the window trying to find her, but she was gone. We finally reached our hotel around 11 a.m. After breakfast, we were back on the road by 12:30 p.m. to visit tourist spots. We spent the day going to botanical gardens, lakes, viewpoints, and markets. We took countless photos, bought chocolates and souvenirs, and ate way too much food. By the time we returned to the hotel at around 8:30 p.m., everyone was exhausted. After dinner, we went back to our rooms. Since it was a school trip, we were allowed to bring phones, headphones, and cameras, but pen drives were strictly not allowed for some reason. My friend D had secretly brought one anyway, and
Kids will bring
that's the
anything
reason.
you say no to.
You ban cotton candy, and there'll be
you
somebody
ban
who
a
sneaks.
shoelace. What is the logic behind this? Please explain yourself.
That pen drive had 4 movies that he had
Oh.
downloaded from a pirated website.
Never mind. That
Oh,
just
so
makes a lot of
illegal.
sense.
Our room had a small TV with a USB port, so we plugged in the pen drive and started watching a movie. The room lights were off, the curtains were drawn, and the cool mountain wind was coming in through the balcony door. At around 2 a.m., we got bored and decided to prank call a classmate staying in another room. Classic. Been there, done that. The hotel rooms had telephones. Oh my god, I'm just thinking of it. The one night out where we got our friend to prank call somebody. This was this elaborate prank. I don't know if you know about this.
Where you switched his.
Yeah, so our friend Arul, we told him that.
Funny.
Yeah, this is true. This is
funny.
actually a legendary story for what it's worth. But now I'm more scared, as you'll find out. But so we have this night out, this annual Christmas night out we have at our friend's place, and the whole school gang was assembled, and we almost
By whole school gang, he means his group of
like my
guys.
group.
Yeah.
My school
Some
gang.
of us were never invited.
It's because we're here and you were there. But the point
What
being
metric?
vibes. The vibometer put you at a 5.
Assessed by you, I'm guessing.
yeah, of
you
course.
are the vibe judge. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
I'm the seismograph of vibes.
Oh my.
But anyway, so we every night out we used to have this prank call thing that we used to do. So there was precedent. We told him that he'd be prank calling a mutual named Simran, for example. So on my phone, we had changed our school's principal's
Contact
number
name.
to Simran, and at 11:30 in the night, he calls up our principal thinking it's a friend, and he says weird things, and all the person on the other line, which is our school's principal, goes, "Beta, is this Arul?" And in that moment that our friend recognized what's happening, and I would love to put the video of this if we get permission to do so from my friend, although I'm still going to put it. Aishwarya, the horror.
I can imagine.
The horror on his face when he realized what's happening.
The other thing is, we have a fantastic principal who's just the sweetest, most angelic
Yeah.
person in the world. So she's someone who would take this in sport. But there is a chance this can be so scary to someone.
But Shashi ma'am's ghost in the future goes, Aryaan, you are my favorite. I
No,
will
that's
lose.
too much.
I will lose my
We will
crown.
draw the line over there.
Anyway, so my friend T made the call and we mimicked our teachers' voices. Our classmate got completely confused and we burst out laughing. We went back to the movie, still laughing quietly. At exactly 2:45 a.m., the room telephone suddenly rang. The sound was so loud in the silent room that all 3 of us jumped. I picked up the phone and turned on the speaker. The moment I said hello, my blood ran cold. A woman's voice whispered in Tamil, Kapatu, Kapatu, save me. Save me. My heart started pounding. The voice was exactly like the woman from the bus. Same tone, same trembling fear. Only this time it sounded more desperate. My friends heard it too. For a few seconds, none of us spoke. Then the voice repeated, louder this time. Save me. Please save me. T suddenly burst out laughing and said it was obviously a prank by some other room. D agreed and said someone must be trying to scare us. They teased me for believing in ghost stories. But I couldn't laugh. My hands were shaking. We hung up the phone, turned off the TV, and went to bed. Even though my friends fell asleep quickly, I lay awake for a long time, staring at the ceiling and listening to every sound in the room. The next morning, we woke up early to get ready for sightseeing. Our room had a balcony that faced the hills, and I stepped outside to enjoy the cold breeze. The valley was covered in mist, and the sun was slowly rising over the mountains. Suddenly, I heard a loud scream. It came from below. I rushed to the railing and looked down. One of my teachers was lying on the ground near the steps that led to the rooms.
What?
She was crying in pain. A few students had already gathered around her. I ran down and helped her sit up. Her face was pale and she was shaking. She said her ankle was badly hurt. When the teachers asked what had happened, she said something that made my stomach drop. She told us that a woman had come running down the steps very fast. The woman had pushed her and kept screaming in Tamil, "Save me, save me." Before anyone could stop her, the woman disappeared between the buildings. I stood there in shock. No one else seemed to notice how strange it was. The teachers focused on taking her to the hospital and the trip continued as planned. But I couldn't stop thinking about the woman. Her eyes, her voice, the egg on the bus window, the phone call in the middle of the night, and now this. To this day, I still think about that trip. And every time I hear someone whisper Kapatu, I remember Ooty. Thank you. S.
That is terrifying.
Wow.
But human or ghost? What do you concur?
Ghost.
Why? What
Ghost or like...
piece of this makes you go, oh, this is not human?
Oof. That's true. I mean, it could be.
It could be a human.
Yeah, it could be like a stalking.
Although, how would this person know your exact roots
Yeah, like
were? They could have very possibly prank called or seriously called a bunch of numbers in the hotel. But in that case, I feel like
it would
you
have something that come
know.
out. You would mention in the story. I mean, I'm just gonna take it as what it is, which is a good story.
So, bro, a running figure
Oh yeah.
screaming this, just
So
like
what have we
darting
realized in this
past you.
episode? If the scariest ghost possible, imaginable, is an old principal
Who smiles?
who is smiling at you and running
Running.
towards you.
That is it.
That's like the final boss of ghosts.
If anyone would like to take that archetype up and make a film or something, I think that would really do
Based on
wonders.
Chai
That's
Chithi.
absolutely terrifying.
Yeah. And name the movie Kapatu.
Fantastic.
On that note,
On that note,
guys,
Kapatu me from Aryaan, so that I can go have a nice rest of the day. We can end this right here.
if there's anybody I know who'll grow up to look like a very scary old woman, it's my beloved co-host.
With pride. No stress.
Until the next Chai Chithi, which will be whenever we deem appropriate, stay safe, stay crazy, and stay desi.